Welcome back to Let's Play SimCity 4 with me, GetDavedville. So, let's continue building this city, shall we? Rife with unemployment problems. Let's check the RCI indicators real quick. We've got some needs for a bunch of mid-commercials, so that's nice. I'd also like to point out I just uploaded the first video yesterday, and so this is the first one I'm recording since that. And my apologies to Johnny Westray, who I think herniated in the comments section in horror of everything I was doing. Yeah, I'll do that to you. Yeah, this first city is largely just to get a city on the ground, and we're going to do a lot of the little things wrong on it. So, you know, like zoning industrial by a water supply where it would be, you know, a nice place to live. Yeah, that's not something you should do every day. Alright, we've got some demand for residential. Throw down a block or two. Right on, we're doing well, apparently. Alright, we're just going to do a little investigation, because we're having sort of a perma-unemployment problem, which bugs me. So, we'll just ask what's going on there. Everybody lives there. School grade high, so we've got some smart people who don't have a job. You can also see their commute if you're interested. The way the game works, yeah, commuters none because they don't have a job. You can click on it and it shows you the commute that these people are taking to work. Now it just assigns one job per structure, so it's not like, you know, Bob works here and John works over there, and none of that crazy stuff. They're just, they all work at the same place. Alright, there's some development going on at the commercial sector, so I'm just gonna let that happen. Alright, that looks good. We need a cemetery, always fun. Cemeteries, I do not know their big, I don't know what their deal is, so I kind of push them out to the edge of the town. Yeah, I don't really know if they actually increase desirability or anything. Where do they zone, you know, cemeteries and cities normally? Are any of you the goth types that are regular patrons of cemeteries? If so, feel free to offer me some information on where they like to keep them. Okay. Time is passing, and the growth looks relatively static. We're really close to a balanced budget, which is pretty good. It comes pretty easily on this difficulty setting. Again, we're going to do a medium-sized city right next to it, and I will do things right for that one. Oh, jeez. I hate it when that happens. Alright. First things first, I'm also going to look into doing some ordinances here. You can make a fixed amount of money by legalizing gambling. It's not really worth it in my opinion. Like, there's better ways of getting $100. Some of them are pretty cheap. One that is really great is Where's the fire detector? Smoke detector program. There we go. It's cheap and reduces fires. It's nice. A lot of the other ones are just for increasing desirability, and they're pretty good. Pro reading campaign improves education in your city, so I'm into that one, and I think we're good for now. Traffic is a bit of an issue in the city, but we'll just wait and see on that one. Almost at break even. There's only really demand for residential right now, so that's what I'm going to do. Budget balanced, everybody. I knew we should have built those high-density industrial zones right by the waterfront. Alright. Other things worth noting. Comments in the first video, people remarked about having residential right by power generation. I don't think it's a huge deal in this one, so long as it's a green power source. So that's something to take into account. Yeah, I don't care. Actually, let's take a look at the traffic data view real quick. That's pretty good, all green. Don't get that too often. Alright. Next, we gotta build a bridge across to the other side of our city. You can pick the height and all that. Sure. The costs are pretty similar for all of them. Just like in real life, how it doesn't really matter what type of bridge you build. Oh, jeez. But how do I connect to this road? There we go. It's actually often quite tricky to get roads built, or bridges built exactly how you want them. A lot of the time it's sort of one of those annoying things you find out about when it's a little too late to do much about it. Holy crap, this music's making me feel like we're the force of progress in this world. My extremely well-zoned city. Alright, we've got some crime issues, but nothing too bad. For some reason, cemeteries are decent for crime. They're not like airports. Airports are wretched hives of scum and villainy, make no mistake. But, yeah, cemetery, you gotta watch out for those grave robbers, I guess. Fun fact. Misplaced coffins? 2. Sometimes if you click on things, there'll be a little fun tidbits for you. Alright, we're starting to get some high-tech industry demand, which makes me happy in my heart. And that's pretty much all we've got, aside from huge demand for low-density commercial, or low-value residential. So, you can increase the density, and you can put them in high-crime areas. You can put them by the cemetery. You don't always want high property value on your property, because you need places for people to work their way up the economic ladder. Alright, we gotta get some serious zoning done here. One other thing worth noting, you start with a ton of money in this game relative to other SimCity games. Like, I think SimCity 1, I'm pretty sure, is the most extreme, where you start with like 20,000 bucks or whatever, and it is not really a sizable amount of money. Not so in this one. They start you with 500,000 simoleons, which is a lot. And a city this size, actually, the small plots, you can almost always get the entire city zoned for that amount of money. So if you want to be really irresponsible, you can do that and not bother balancing the budget and walk away and never worry about it. The game does let you get away with stuff like that. Also, I talked briefly about selling utilities to neighboring cities, which is basically what this city exists for. It is here to have utilities pawned off on it. If you do this, like let's say we have a neighboring city that's selling electricity to GetDavedville. You can do that just fine. When you come back to controlling GetDavedville, they will be buying electricity. You can cancel the deal whenever you want and not be paying for it, but the other city can still be selling it. So it's a cheap mechanic that you can totally exploit. Now, this is, oh geez, this is far enough away from our core that we're probably going to have to start building more support infrastructure for down here. Oh yeah, like electricity. Here's some of the more pansy-ish sims like that stuff. Alright. This city is such a mess. Alright. One other thing I'm doing that is kind of bad is, and there's only one. There's only one bad habit in this entire video. That should do it. Is I'm zoning everything and not leaving spaces for parks and stuff. You really should leave spaces for parks and stuff. Where are we? That'll really drop your environment issues if you don't do that. Also, safety's on the way down fast. Actually, all of my primaries are on the way down because this entire new region doesn't have anything good going its way. Super huge public schools you will probably never need on a plot this large. But, you know, I can build it now, so that's fine. The super elementary schools can serve a ridiculously huge number of students, like our entire population could go back to grade school. So let's see what we can do here. Our budget will become unbalanced again, but that's alright. And coppers. Yeah, that's probably the best place for it. And, education. Yeah, that's where the uneducated bumpkins live. Elementary, and of course, probably another meta-clinic will do for now. And the budget's fracked again, but don't worry, it'll be easy to fix this time. Alright. Oh goodness. Alright, so yeah, typical expansion problems going on right now. If you want to be hardcore, which, if you haven't noticed yet, I am not. Definitely not in this game anyway. You can look into these things before you expand and, you know, ascertain what your electrical needs are going to be and, you know, stuff like that. Our water department is probably doing just fine. You can break down into individual medi-centers how much you want to fund them. I recommend it. And education as well. They're both doing just fine. And we're pretty much out of time, so I'm gonna cut it here. We'll fix up the rest of our problems next time. I might fix that traffic jam real quick. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn this into a road, probably. Alright, I'll see you guys next time.